Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads. It's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
In the vast, echoing expanse of the cavern, Elora found herself flustered. The atmosphere buzzed with an electric tension as she covered her face with one hand, her eyes wide with a mix of surprise and delight.
You brat!
But despite her words, the corners of her lips betrayed her, lifting into a secretive smile. Meanwhile, Zane Martel, standing tall and confident, patted the back of the colossal King of Flameclaws. The massive creature trembled slightly under his touch, an awe-inspiring sight against the dim light filtering into the cave.
Gather all your subordinates and follow me.
The King of Flameclaws responded with two thunderous cries, echoing off the cavern walls. Despite its immense size and power, it obeyed, clearly cowed by the formidable auras exuded by Zane Martel and Elora. The air vibrated as the Flameclaws, stirred from their slumber, rose and roared in unison. They responded to their king's call with an earth-shaking fervor, the noise resonating like a tumultuous storm. In a stunning display of power, the King of Flameclaws unfurled its wings and ascended into the sky, followed by a breathtaking multitude of Flameclaws. The sky above the cliff darkened as the beast formed a vast, eerie cloud, blocking out the sun and casting an ominous shadow over the land.
This feels amazing.
Zane Martel's eyes sparkled with triumph as he surveyed his new army, his voice bursting with excitement.
Look, Elora, this is my army.
Elora, seated gracefully on another King of Flameclaws, arched an eyebrow, her lips curving into a knowing smirk.
Don't forget my contribution to making this happen. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have so easily tamed the Kings of Flameclaws.
Yes, you're right. How about I give you a few more kisses as repayment?
You wish.
For half an hour, they soared through the air, reveling in their victory, the Flameclaws a swirling tempest around them. Satisfied, Zane Martel finally allowed the beasts to return to their lairs, their wings slicing through the air as they descended. Zane Martel and Elora then set off for the cave where the grotesque mountains of corpses lay. The sheer number of Flameclaws made it difficult to keep them nearby, so Zane Martel decided it was best to have them back in their caves, at least for the time being. He knew that on the day the passage luminous dragon crystal, placing it carefully in the center of the cavern. The crystal glowed with an otherworldly through him, realized the immense benefits it brought. With his body already infused with various essences of the Dragon Clan, the energy from the crystal integrated seamlessly, enhancing his strength and vitality. Over the next 5 days, he immersed himself in the Dragon Heaven Swallowing Emperor technique, absorbing the crystal's power with relentless focus. His body underwent profound changes as he soared through the initial and final stages of the 9th level of the advanced level, each breakthrough bringing him closer to his peak. Beside him, Elora also advanced swiftly, reaching the 8th level of the advanced level with astonishing speed. Zane Martel couldn't help but marvel at her progress, especially knowing that she had mastered the formidable power of death. He secretly thought that her cultivation speed might even surpass his own. A few days later, Zane Martel and Elora decided to part ways for now, each seeking the solitude of closed-door training. Within the eerie confines of the dragon-devouring prison, Zane Martel sat before several small bottles, each containing different medicinal pills. Among them was a crucial bottle of martial-breaking pills. The air was thick with anticipation. Zane Martel was on the brink of attempting to break through to the expert level. For days he had practiced without rest, knowing that despite his progress, there was still a vast chasm between him and formidable opponents like Leonard Hunter.
I have no choice. I must push beyond my limits.
Just a day ago, he had reached the peak of the 9th level advanced level with the aid of the Dragon Crystal and the medicinal pills. Yet almost all of the Dragon Crystal's energy had been consumed in the process. The remaining fragments were reserved for Elora, a testament to their shared journey and mutual support. As Zane Martel prepared for his breakthrough, The air grew still, heavy with the weight of the imminent challenge. The darkness of the cave seemed to close in, pressing down with an almost tangible force. In the dim light, Zane Martel's eyes gleamed with unwavering determination. The bottles of medicinal pills lay before him, each one a key to unlocking his next stage of power. In the dim, shadowy confines of the cave, Zane Martel's breath quickened, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and apprehension. This was the moment he had been waiting for, the culmination of his arduous journey.
I've waited for this moment for so long. This time, not only do I have to break through to the expert level, but I also have to transform the Devouring Dragon's celestial body into the Devouring Dragon bloodline.
He inhaled deeply, the weight of his task pressing down on him. Transforming a spiritual body into a bloodline was a challenge far beyond the grasp of most, a feat that bridged the levels of human warriors and the mystic power of demonic beasts. Unlike humans, who awaken spiritual bodies, demonic beasts awaken bloodlines, ancestral legacies of immense power. Many human warriors who had reached the expert level aspired to convert their spiritual bodies into bloodlines, seeking to pass on their strength and talents to future generations. Zane Martel's gaze drifted toward the devouring dragon bone suspended in the air above him. The once majestic creature had been restored, its essence renewed by a single drop of its potent blood essence. The vast body of the devouring dragon, as immense as the Cloud9 galaxy, hovered magnificently in the starry expanse above his head. 1/5 of its scales had transformed from a dull silver to a dazzling gold, emitting an aura of ancient power, reminiscent of a colossal beast from primordial times. Zane Martel steeled himself, placing the medicinal pill from the bottle into his mouth. He closed his eyes, summoning the dragon-devouring emperor technique, and prepared to break through the barriers of his current level. A gentle breeze brushed across his face, but it quickly intensified into a hurricane, swirling around his body with ferocious energy. The air crackled as the sound of wind and thunder erupted, creating a deafening symphony of power. Golden lightning bolts flashed from within him, originating from the sky thunder of the dark domain. As Zane Martel's vital energy surged, battering against the barriers of the expert level, a new bud sprouted from the brilliant branches of his energy, blossoming into a golden flower that shimmered like metal. Within a dozen breaths, the flower withered, giving way to a tiny, enigmatic fruit. Lines of power and the energy of thunder and lightning traced its surface, creating an aura of profound mystery. Zane Martel's brows furrowed as he focused, guiding the turbulent, vital energy within him to a state of calm. Each breakthrough became increasingly difficult, and now a monumental barrier loomed before him.
I have to break through this huge mountain, no matter how hard it gets.
He summoned his vital energy, forming it into a colossal sword he directed toward the mountain that stood in his way. The sword slashed against the stone wall with a resounding crash, but it barely made a dent. Only 2 shallow scratches marred the surface, the mountain standing almost untouched. Zane Martel's brows knitted tighter. Undeterred, he launched another assault, the sword now pulsating with a dense, formidable energy. But again, his efforts fell short, the mountain withstanding his strongest blows. Opening his eyes, Zane Martel let out a deep sigh. He knew his foundation was unstable. Breaking through to the expert level in such a short time was proving to be a Herculean task.
Sure enough, my foundation is unstable. It's too difficult to break through the expert level in such a short time. But no matter what, I have to break through as soon as possible. Otherwise, once the battle in the northern demon country erupts, with my current strength, I'm still no match for Leonard Hunter. I must make a breakthrough.
The gravity of his words echoed in the cavern, a stark reminder of the looming conflict. Zane Martel's determination burned brightly, a beacon of resolve in the darkness. As Zane Martel gathered his energy for another attempt, the cave seemed to hold its breath, the air crackling with anticipation. Would he overcome the insurmountable barrier and achieve the expert level? Or would the mountain's formidable defenses prove too great? The answer hung in the balance, a question that would determine the fate of Zane Martel and those who depended on him. Zane Martel picked up the bottle that contained the martial-breaking pill, his thoughts racing with anticipation. He poured out a flawless quality medicinal pill and swallowed it. The moment the pill entered his throat, it turned into a warm flow that slid into his stomach, giving him a numbing sensation. An energy that made him feel at ease and comfortable was generated in his abdomen. Zayn Martel shut his eyes and began to attempt a breakthrough. As his vital energy changed, it transformed into dozens of sabers and swords, falling from the sky and striking the giant mountain illusion before him. This time, a few deep sword marks appeared on the mountain. Gravel fell, signaling that the mountain had loosened, but it was only the beginning.
Condense.
Dark clouds covered the sky, releasing streaks of terrifying lightning. Zayn Martel's vital energy was like a wild beast. In an instant, millions of blades formed in the air, mimicking the might of the heavens. They rained down on the mountain, creating deafening sounds. The mountain trembled, spiderweb-like cracks appeared, and the speed of its collapse increased.
No, I don't have enough vital energy. What I have now is insufficient to break through to the expert level. Devour it.
Zayn Martel released a devouring power that gathered the vital energy of the entire devouring dragon prison, swallowing it into his body. Even Zayn Martel used the vital energy of the Cloud9 galaxy above his head fully. An upside-down funnel vortex appeared under the Cloud9 galaxy, and an astonishing amount of vital energy rolled down from the vortex, drilling into Zayn Martel's body and being instantly used. The stars flashed, gradually dimming. The entire dragon-devouring prison turned dark, except for the area around Zayn Martel, which sparkled with surrounding thunderbolts. After absorbing enough vital energy, Zayn Martel's aura grew stronger. The Dragon Clan's strength was mobilized by Zayn Martel. He circulated the dragon-devouring Emperor technique and destroyed all the blades and swords. The vital energy of the entire world suddenly gathered, forming a huge figure in the air, emanating a wild and deep aura. A shadow of a dragon appeared, opening its mouth wide and releasing a streak of dragon breath that swept through heaven and earth. The mountain shackles were immediately destroyed. Zayn Martel's aura rose astonishingly, reaching a critical point before pausing. Suddenly, Zayn Martel opened his eyes to darkness all around. Except for himself, there was nothing else.
This is...
Zayn Martel's expression changed as he pondered the situation.
Zayn Martel, today is the day you die.
An arrogant voice echoed from behind him, followed by a snow-white sword energy as bright as the Milky Way. The sword's energy was unstoppable.
No.
Zayn Martel's face changed as he sent out a streak of sword energy. With a loud bang, he was pushed dozens of meters away, barely steadying himself. From the clash of sword energy, a man in white emerged with a long sword in hand. It was Leonard Hunter.
Leonard Hunter, why are you here? This is impossible.
Zayn Martel was breaking through to the expert level just moments ago. How is he here now? And how did Leonard Hunter get in here?
I was in the dragon-devouring prison. Only Wormhaven King and Cassius Gray could enter and exit. This must be my inner demon.
Zayn Martel understood that this was his inner demon. Every person breaking through to the expert level would face their inner demons. Only by defeating them could he truly enter the expert level. If he couldn't face his inner demon head-on, his cultivation would stagnate. Or worse, he could go berserk, and his cultivation would fall. Zayn Martel's mind raced. The stakes were high, and his future hung in the balance. Would he conquer his inner demon and achieve the expert level, or would he succumb to the darkness within? Zayn Martel felt a mix of relief and surprise.
It turns out to be my inner demon, but I never expected it to be Leonard Hunter.
He had thought his inner demon might be Garrett Flynn, his lifelong enemy in the distant Wormhaven Palace. After all, only one of them could survive. But perhaps because Leonard Hunter had once chased and tried to kill him, the memory had etched itself deeply into his psyche.
This time I won't run away. Leonard Hunter, show me what you can do.
Zayn Martel's heart was calm, unaffected by his inner demon. The martial-breaking pill had helped, but it was Zayn Martel's determination that truly mattered. In the inner demonic space, with a thought, Zayn Martel transformed into a golden and silver dragon shadow, a stark contrast to the surrounding darkness. Horrible sword shadows floated around the dragon shadow and shot straight at Leonard Hunter. The dragon shadow rolled up, tearing Leonard Hunter into pieces like tofu. Finally, the space of his inner demon began to collapse. In the devouring dragon prison, Zayn Martel's aura which challenge lay ahead, transforming the devouring dragon's celestial body. into the devouring dragon bloodline was 10 times more difficult than breaking through to the expert level.
I have to transform the devouring dragon celestial body into the devouring dragon bloodline.
Zane Martel had studied countless books and knew the process well. The dragon-devouring emperor technique continued to circulate. The vital energy within his body, like roots in his limbs and bones, suddenly became red and hot. It felt as if he were being cooked alive. The heat grew more scorching, and the vital meridian of his celestial body began to evaporate, releasing sharp pain. It was as if his skin and bones were being peeled off. Sweat the size of soybeans beaded on his forehead.
The pain of transforming a spiritual body into a bloodline is worse than I imagined.
Despite his strong physical body, Zane Martel struggled with the pain. An ordinary person would have fainted, but Zane Martel, tempered many times, endured it. Clenching his teeth, he turned his vital meridian into steam bit by bit. The steam cooled, turning into dewdrops that passed through his body and entered his blood vessels, integrating with his blood. The process seemed smooth until Zane Martel discovered a serious problem.
Oh no, I don't have enough vital meridians. The devouring dragon bloodline is too weak. It can't even be considered a dragon-devouring bloodline.
Panic set in as Zane Martel realized the gravity of the situation. If he couldn't complete the transformation, he'd be stuck between a bloodline and a spiritual body, a freakish hybrid.
This won't do. If this continues, I won't be a bloodline or a spiritual body. I'm going to be some freak stuck in between. I have to find a way to solve this.
Zane Martel's mind raced as he searched for a solution. Time was running out, and the stakes were higher than ever. Would he find a way to complete the transformation, or was he destined to be trapped in this nightmarish state? What will Zane Martel do next? Can he overcome this seemingly insurmountable challenge and fully transform into the devouring dragon bloodline?